Hey, how's it going? We're going to use a table feature on this Casio fx-991EX. So our first graph is a parabola. Whenever you see parentheses, we're going to pick the number that makes it 0 inside the parentheses. That would be -4. Okay, that number I've put right over here in the middle of this table. Now the column on the right, those are the numbers that we're going to get from the calculator. Okay, so -4 is a number that makes it 0 inside the parentheses. Then we're going to choose two numbers to the left and two numbers to the right. So -5 and -6. Those are to the left of -4, -3, and -2. Those are to the right of -4. Alright, so let's do it. Okay, so you have this menu button at the top next to the on button. So hit menu. Okay. Now 1 is for our basic calculations. Multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. What you're going to do is scroll down using the arrows to number 9. Okay. So these are arrows. You go left or right, up or down. Yeah, 9 and letter A. See, right next to letter 9, right next to number 9 is letter A. That's a very useful feature also, equation/function. We'll do that in the next video. Okay, so table, once you get it highlighted to number 9 table, you could hit equals, or you could also just hit 9, and there you go, f of x equals. So it's ready for you to put in our function. Let's type it in, 2 and then parentheses, x. Our x is right underneath the on button. Sometimes people use the times button. Do not do that. Here's our x underneath the on button. So there it is, 2 times x plus 4. Now the squared, there's an x squared button right here underneath these arrows. Right next to it is x with a box. That's to put in any other exponent, but this is a quick one for x squared. Now -3, you have a negative over here, that's a black key. That's for a negative, so if the 2 was negative, you would use that button. But in this case, we're going to use a minus. So -3. Alright, now hit equals. And then it says g of x. G of x is to type in a second function, but we're not going to do that. So just hit equals one more time. And now we have a table range. So we're going to tell the calculator what values we want it to pick for x. Our start is the smallest number on the list, which in this case is -6. Top number here, -6. That's why we put it in order. -6, -5, -4, -3, and -2. So we're going to have it start with -6. This time we're going to use the negative. -6. And hit equals. The end is the largest number. That would be -2. Equals. The step is by how often you want it to pick values. So we're going to leave it at 1. But if you wanted to go by 2s, then you would change it to 2. If you wanted to pick in every half unit increments, then you would pick 0.5. Okay, so we're just going to hit equals. We're going to leave it at 1. And there's our table. -6, 5, -5, -1, -4, -3, -3, -1, Oh, I can't see the -2, 5, so just hit the down arrow, and there it is. So we just hit the clear button. It'll go back to the original function. Now you can hit the clear again so we can get rid of that. And we're ready to type another one. Let's go back through the process though. Okay, so menu and then 1. This is for our regular calculations. Let's say we wanted to put in -3 plus 8, then equals. Okay, so we're at our regular calculations, so hit menu, and then again 9, or you could scroll down till you'll see 9, and hit equals. 6x over x squared minus 4. We have a fraction button. It's under this OPTN option button on the very left hand side. So now you can type a fraction. In the numerator, you're going to hit 6 and then x, and then use the arrow to go down to the denominator. Now we're going to type in x squared minus 4. X squared minus 4. Let's do that again. Sometimes what people will do is hit this other exponent button. That's to type in any exponent. You can still type in a 2, but if you start typing -4, notice how the -4 is in the exponent. We don't want that. We don't want the -4 in the exponent. So delete that, and then hit the right arrow. See, that brings the cursor down to the regular level, -4. Again, g of x, don't need it. And here's the values I wanted to choose from -4 to 4. The reason I chose those values has to do with the vertical asymptotes. I picked points on all sides and in between the two vertical asymptotes where it's at 2 and -2. So this time we're going to go from -4. So here's our negative button, -4. Make sure you use a negative. I believe if you use a minus, it'll give you a syntax error. Get an error, hit the AC button, and then type it in again. Okay, so -4 is our start, equals. +4 is our end, equals. Leave the step at 1. And there's our values. Notice at -2 it says error. Also at 2 it should say error. And that's because those are where the vertical asymptotes are located. Again, when you want to go back, hit the AC button, and then you can type it in again. Maybe it gave you an error. Again, sometimes we type it in correctly. Let's go to, let's see what happens if you put in a negative sign right here. Delete that, minus, equals, oh see, syntax error. So if you use a minus by mistake, it'll give you, if you use the negative, sorry, if you use the negative by mistake and not the minus, it'll give you an error. Okay, so you go back to this and just see that you didn't type in anything incorrectly. Minus. And then hit equals. There it is. All right, hope this helped. I'll see you here for the next video.